Alright peeps, welcome back to Fireside. We've got some farmers farming away over there, getting plenty of bait, and we've got some water fishing out of a fancy flat top floodgates here. Spinning the power wheels there and allowing these automated water slurpers to slurp up all the water on the map. Well, technically not quite all the water, but close enough. And I've been thinking between episodes, I don't think there's enough bloody flow coming through here to allow this to completely fill up and flood. I don't think we're going to get any higher than these flat top floodgates. I'll let it run for now and we'll check in before drought or bad tide hits. But this episode isn't about that one little water container there. This episode's about getting our beavers ready to fully unpause this entire housing estate here, because the whole backside of it, apart from this one little mini lodge, is paused. Just like the game's paused, because I want to get in here and check out this little beaver that's getting a cupcake tail painted. Look at them gone. Hold up, why we're flooding, what's going on? Because we're not used to having this much flow coming out. And yeah, now we're not flooding anymore. So this valley's just getting unsynchronized all the way up to the tippity top. That will hopefully sort out the flooding here, because our flat top floodgates here are down to 1.8. There shouldn't be any flooding beavers. But anywho, as I was going to say before I got distracted by the flooding, in the last episode we bounced back in a mega way. We've got all of what one beaver could want. Loads of food, even just sitting there waiting to be picked up. Absolute excess of beavers are living in here. And that fact gives me the confidence to get over here and unpause the last few hooses on this housing estate. Mainly because I want to get the clock beaver bust and finish up the roofs. Plus I'm pretty confident our fancy Fireside favourite beavers here, Lap and Tuffle Magic most certainly included, can handle the extra population. But in order to fully unpause this housing estate, we're going to have to get properly efficient down here. And the first way I'm going to do that is by deleting these two water tanks that are taking up valuable green growing land. Ask the beavers to plant their canola and corn respectively over here. Because in place of the two large tanks, aka 2,400 water, we're going to be plopping in heaps of underground tanks. Underground, of course. Now to get underground, we are unfortunately going to have to blow up our path here. But we'll quickly get it out of the way, it'll be mostly painless. It's going to be mostly painless because I'm going to ensure the beavers have another way of getting out of there. There you go, beavers, build your temporary stairway up to the second layer of the house there. Look at that! Double vertical lodge coming in clutch. And yeah, no, I definitely didn't just build that because I realised I didn't have any alternative routes for these beavers. So while we're waiting for this to all get banged in by the beaver builders, let's turn our attentions to this forest here. And by that I mean unpausing this bloody lumberjack flag. Because we are not planting any more trees down here. And I mean down here. Down here is purely for food. Once the beavers have these overhangs in, I'll be able to delete this path and put even more food in. Well, this is one of the other areas where there's not going to be any more trees planted. We are only planting trees out of this area here. And we're going to symbolise that by retrofitting our water tank here to look like a big old tree. And to do that, I installed a fancy little mod, the Overhang Levy. That's easily worth 240 Skides points. The only real issue is, as I was saying, we need to actually retrofit this bad lad, because as you can see, I need to have platforms in place first before I can even pop this levy in. So let us do a bit of testing. If we get a single high platform, I can't even pop it down, I need to move the camera. A single high platform there, can I pop overhangs over the trees? That is a negative and needs to be too high. Then the overhang will go over the oaks there. Therefore, beavers, if you would be so kind, and blow up this entire bloody layer of water tank here. You know what, instead of building that off the side, I'm just going to redo the ladder stack. It needs to be redone anyway. And there we have our little Christmas tree ready to be built. Now we are piling on a lot of maximum priority jobs. Oh! Doesn't matter, beavers have already got it on. Beavers, I'm just going to quickly disconnect this path here. So if you wouldn't mind not walking over this little bit of detonate. As I blew it up, let's go! Big hole in the ground. Luckily, the beavers can just get up and out of the housing estate. Maximum efficiency here for these bloody Emberpelts. Just to help me visualise everything here, let me pop a path down. And honestly, I may as well pop the ladders on. We'll not force the beavers to keep going through the housing estate. But anywho, let's go down to the level where the path is, which is right here. Get out our landscape and whip out some tunnels. All the way along, yeah? And now that we're underneath the farm, I can just put as many big tanks down as I want. We'll start from the left. I want to go all the way so we can actually see these things. And there you go, beavers. There's another load of maximum priority beaver builds for you. Cannot wait for you to get this in, like, it's gonna be absolutely legendary. Stranded beaver already, what? Oh, yeah, no, that's fair dinkum. I did strand here at Graft. Our the pit. But don't worry, this is a maximum priority build, and it's basically the only one on the map, so it'll be like 20 seconds and you'll be sorted, mate. Oh, maybe not, since everyone's clocked off. We do have 130 odd planks, though. I'm liking that. Ooh, and an unemployed beaver. That means unpausing a builder's hut. You can never have too many builders. Alright, I'm doing a speed 3, speedy up it. Oh, beaver's banging in me face! Well, that wasn't even a speedy up it. I was going to say until the beavers get this ladder in, but they just immediately got it in. Sunbar, are you the 63-year-old beaver? Ooh. I wonder if that beaver that was stranded was Vilner here who died of old age. I mean, what we can do is just not think about that and get all these resources back. And I imagine the next thing to get built is going to be this good old-fashioned ladder stack here. So why don't we have ourselves a real casual speedy up bit? You might even be able to see the water level dropping in the water tank while it gets built. And maybe even while they get blowing up some of these tunnels. They're not underground, so are they still technically tunnels? Alright, we're ending the speedy up bit there, because I heard a warning. Yeah, 0.8 days. How are we doing in here? Well, we should be absolutely chocker. Yeah, we're chocker block with the water up there. That is fantastic. And expected. How we're doing chopping the trees down here? You know what, for a single lumberjack? A lumberjack with a snazzy cupcake tail, though. I think you've made a fair dinkum bit of progress here, pal. Not bad at all, at all. Now to in range, where are ye? Oh, not excellent. Not excellent. Let's delete you. That'll give builders access to get done here, and then you can start scrapping the last bit of scrap on the map. That's it. There's no more scrap left. But anywho, before the drought hits, because I'm too excited to not play with this and make sure it actually works, let's delete these 2 platforms here. Nothing should collapse. Get a 6 long overhang. Oh, to rotate! It's green! It's green! Right, overhang levy. Oh, it's all green! It's all happening! This is it! Oh, yes! This is fantastic! Right, before I get too carried away, we need to make sure we get these overhangs built to support the rest of it, and maybe not the overhang levy just yet. We still need beavers to have access for now. But going into this drought, we are fully chock-a-block on water here. Like, everything's full. Our underground tanks here are full. Our underground tank back here is full. Every overground tank's bloody full of water. I do want to pop a big old water tank, though, on here. And you know what? While we're there, we've got the 2 spot. Why didn't we just get another tail painter on the crack? We'll do this design on the right, because it sort of kind of looks like water. Even though Emberpelts would never have water inked on their tails. And by the looks of things, we're doing our read on tomatoes, so why don't I, on pause, a little bit of tomato juice for the beavers. Oh, and yeah, for those that didn't catch the text that popped up from Editor MiGly, cheers Editor MiGly, I got distracted by Lapantoffel magic here and never said. I put the canola press back in, so now we're making canola oil. The grills are actually functioning properly. But anywho, I'm seeing beavers diving down here. Let's dive underground with them. Oh, and check out the progress they've made is what I was gonna say, and bloody look at the progress they've made is what I'm saying. Now I decided to build this all the way over here underneath the Housing estate, and not directly underneath the entire farm, which is what I initially had planned, because if I knock out a whole layer of dirt there, it's going to stop irrigation. I mean, I were hunky-dory now while the water level's high, but once it gans down, how we're going to irrigate the floating farm? And the simplest answer I came up with is just not have a floating farm. No, let's quickly catch this. You know what, let's actually get into beaver mode. Oh, bloody yak, we're caught it anyway, but the floodgates automatically close there. And we had 1 beaver get splashed in all wet fur. Can hang out by the campfire pile and dry off. You do have a Fireside favourite tale, so I know you love the campfires. Oh, a 30-day drought! A 30-day drought, peeps. This is it. This is as hard as it gets in hard mode. Now, wasn't that the title of the 1st or 2nd episode of Fireside? Because it gave us a bloody drought immediately 3 days in. And I genuinely don't know how soon or late cycle 23, 30-day drought is. I'm very confident we haven't had a 30-day drought or bad tide yet. So 23 cycles in. And I'm very happy we were full on water. I guess I just realised that beavers can't levitate around corners. I mean, I already realised it once before, but it looks like I need to realise it for a second time. And let's not realise it for a third time and preemptively pop these corners on new at the bottom and all. But with 29.6 days remaining of this drought, I think it's a perfect time to go underground and do a mad speedy up it until every single one of these tunnels is blown up. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't have the path on, so the hood will flash up for a second. Hopefully you blink and miss it. Here we are. This is surely the final beaver. Oh, it's not. Alright, let's speed it up a little bit more. Oh, beaver hanging about, don't ya? Hello, little Bobby with his EM tail. Come on, build a beaver, bang it in and blow it up. And that's it. The final one. It's all done. Now we get to see if I actually understand the new terrain physics. We should not have any catastrophic collapses. Delete all of that. Reset visible layers. There's been no catastrophic collapses. Woohoo! Well, our old mate has finished chopping down all these trees. You know what, actually, it's been how many days? 10 days? Old mate's making fair dinkum progress over here now. He's got the last couple of corners to go and it'll all be chill. Now, we still have basically full water there. That is, we actually have full water. How? Not really going to question it. We've got loads of food. That is fantastic. Now that we have berries, I'm going to unpause the bakery. We've got hundreds of apples, so this bakery's getting unpaused. And while we're talking about apples, we're going to be planting even more apple trees on this bottom layer. You know what? I'm actually going to use the overwrite tool here. Any oaks that are currently here need to be apples. Every single one of yous. So yeah, now we're going to have heaps of apples on the crack soon. Even more than we currently have. We've got loads of planks so we can pause this bad lad. Free up some jobs. We always like that. We are going to be needing bricks, so we need to get that whole chain up and running. And we're actually finally starting to dip into a charcoal reserve, so get old mate in there and all. And the reason we need all of those materials is when we get underground here, well, once I quickly move everything out the way first, I'm going to be asking the beavers to build 10 underground tanks here, all at a maximum priority. Now, this is where it's going to make or break. I left a gap here, look at that! Because I want to do a mad speedy up it, like. Let's see if we can get a proper angle down here. I mean, actually, first, let's see if we can get our first person beaver down here. We can. Where do we do it? Do we do it all? Oh, watch yourself, MiGly. Do we do it from our here, or do we do it from our here? Nah, I mean, as fun as this is with the path, I think most of the action's going to be our here. So let's get myself centered. And I do actually want to get right off the back there where I almost fell off because it'll give us a... Oh, there we go. Don't go any further back, MiGly. What did I say? I said don't go any further back, MiGly. So I'm all happy with the centre job. Just look forward and the second your camera drops, don't press S anymore. But before we do that big speedy up bit underground, we need to do a little bit of a speedy up bit here to get the mine up and running because those underground tanks need metal blocks and when any other scrap as we mentioned earlier in the episode. I came out of the speedy up bit because it kind of slowed down and neither wonder. We need some gears and my cogger shop's paused. Get that unpaused. That's going to probably start chewing up our planks again. And I was thinking with the mine opening, we need to do some medical bed action like. Instead of having them on the green ground there, why didn't we put them on a bloody canal? I'm even going to use the same logic with these hauling posts and builder huts here. And chuck them down here. Ooh, 150 cogs and all. And 100 metal blocks. Oh, I was going to say, I hope I didn't just delete the actual roof of the canal. So let's get these two hauling posts built with a quickness. But as for the in-betweenies, we're not going to be chucking a building hut on. We're going to be unlocking the tapper's shack. And then just to make sure we don't build anything over here, I'm going to get a wooden path without railings properly up there. And the reason we're getting the tapper's shack in a way is we're going to be using the forestry override tool to plant maple trees up the top here and pines on the lower level. And then once they've been replanted, I'm going to have to remember to switch off cut trees. Oh, and of course, these medical beds, maximum priority beavers. But for now, I need to come up with the most efficient way to farm this little corner here. And I really was enjoying the idea of the hilltop farmer, but there's a couple of squares that can't reach from there. They have to be down here somewhere. You know what, I like the idea of plopping it here. So be gone path. The wee farmhouse is taking our. Yeah, now that does mean replacing those stairs that we had with a couple of ladders. Oh, that's right. I just remembered. it's nigh on impossible to delete these paths. So these are staying orange paths on here. The reason I was going to delete it is because I'm going to be deleting this whole path down this side. Yeah, as you can see, it's all getting deleted one by one. And I missed one square. But look at all of that green ground it's freed up. And if we delete one medical bed, we've got all of that green ground back there as well. Because we love nothing more than getting dirty here in Fireside, let's do a little bit of an overhang. Just a wee one for now. Not crazy. Not crazy. Now, for this last 6 days of this drought, I'm going to be getting all the beaver builders on the crack. Look at all of these beaver builders. Busily beavering away, building. And have a look at this, peeps. We've got Lap and Tuffle Magic bringing their juice ingredients all the way out to get juice. Even though they're not making juice, they're making bloody canola oil. You know what? While we're waiting for the last 48 gears to get in there, why didn't we check in with the progress round here? Oh, beavers are making fair dinkum work, like. Yeah, look at them hammering away. They're getting all the way round. Just means I can start plopping even more of these overhangs in. Now, I've been thinking about these corners here. I'm pretty sure this won't delete anything. Yeah, we're fine, right. Can we do one of these 3x3s? The reason I say that is if we just... Oh, I can't delete this platform. This platform is necessary. Damn it, it's the one I just done. But anyway, hypothetically, if I got a 3x3, it would have to be here, wouldn't it? Let's see. Pop a dirt block there. 3x3. Ah, you see, it's just too big. It's going to block this arm coming out. Unless, actually, is that an overhang? Yes, it is. You can see there. This is one of the overhang blocks, so it's okay that it doesn't go out all the way, I think. This is also not a symmetrical shape, so it does differ from place to place. Now, let's leave these side bits out for now. We know we definitely want this one built at least, so get that in so we can start supporting blocks and deleting platforms. Same crack over here. Get that in. And then can I delete this one? I can. So get another one in there. Now, while I'm at it being crazy, one on the fourth side now. And let's have a proper check-in with the beavers. Water, basically full. Food, even better than before, 4.7k. I would love to do something else with the corn and with grilled bell peppers. However, we need more tomatoes. You know, I need to start doing bloody water management, don't I? That could do that, actually. It's not this episode. But for now, let's just go down here, 0.9, and it should start flying out. I need to quickly get down here. Where is it? Big flat top floodgate, there you are. Let's bring you down, 0.8. We can even hang about with our first beaver perspective here. Even though not a lot's happening. Any particular reason why now it happened? No water? Alright. Alright. Okay then. Delete you. Hang on, why is there more water coming out? Oh, because this was only set at 0.90. Alright. But yeah, now delete that. Get one more tunnel, beavers. This is a maximum priority tunnel, look. Get that bad lad in. And then also, get a bit of dirt on there. Real quickly and casually, please. Ooh, would you look at this? The beavers have got the whole farm up and running. Now, I did say we needed some more tomatoes, so let's plant tomatoes all the way down here. And that includes this overhang when it's built. We'll see what we want to plant up here. But for now, it's all dried up anyway. There's no point planting anything there. How close are we on this maximum priority build? Only 30 gears away. I did unpause all of these builders so they could pick up all the gears on the floor and that, but I don't think they're quite round to it just yet. Yeah, not just yet. Maybe we bring all of the high priorities down a bit, just to mediums, and then all of the maximum priorities down to high. And in that way, apart from this little bit here, which we do actually need to get done the next 3 days, kinda important to this whole thing, means that these plops of rubble and that should get picked up now to matter. Although I'm not going to leave it a chance for the top here. Let's get some bloody magical power movers on the gun. And you know what? I'm doing here today a bit of a speedy up bit getting this in. But I actually want to walk in and see what it's like. This is the service tunnel for the beavers. Can they hop up here? Yeah, just about. Oh, look at that. Behind there, or behind those levees to be precise, are the water sources that feed the entirety of this map. There, look, poking me head through the platforms, you can see them. Look at those water sources. We're not kind of scary in here. Let's get out before we end up blocked in. Get out. Oh, hello, beaver. Were you just to put in? Nah. You know what, actually, let's do a speedy up bit here. Oh, that didn't last very long, did it? It's instantly in. I suppose that was the only maximum priority job, so it does make sense that it was instantly in, like. Let's get our flat top floodgate back on here, maximum priority. That can synchronise with old mate here. It just sits at 1. This is the only laddie that can up and down. And I've set this floodgate to 0 to see if beavers can actually access it. Oh no, they can't walk through. So once the beavers actually build the floodgate, there's no getting out of here, even though you can see your escape. You can't get out! You know what I've just realised? There's no need to have a lumberjack flag here. Be gone and be replaced with a second gatherer flag. Because that is a fair bit more important. Like, you can prioritise berries, and you can prioritise apples. And it looks like we got our builder beaver leg ends, the EM crew, rocking up and smashing this flat top floodgate in, as I asked. Oh wow, I actually blinked and missed that. It's in. And yes, MiGly, this is a maximum priority job, considering it's about food. Can't believe I didn't do that, like, just left it with no beavers running in there. All I will say for now, we actually do only need one beaver, because it takes a couple of days to grow. Ooh, hang about. It's a 30-day drought. 30-day drought, and everything's still green over here. You know what that means? The bloody canal has done its trick. Let's dip underground to see what level the canal's at. It's still full! And we're unintentionally inside of it. It's still full after a full 30 days. Yes! I love this canal. Didn't even need the water tank. I've just had this closed and evaporating so we can finally get down below this level and blow it up without flooding the whole beaver population. And we're nearly there. We didn't need this in either. Now, with 46 vacancies, I think it might be time to bring down the priority of all these builders. Even pause a couple of these extra bonus huts. Anything less than 20 vacancies is fine, but unless we've got this in, or we do perfect. At least we have some haulers. But what can we do to make this more efficient? Are you getting all the ingredients you need? You're not. You need radishes. Just like the tomato juice isn't getting anything they need either. Get paused. The only liquid we're making up here is canola liquid. But that did let us know that we need to plant some radishes down, so get radishes planted whenever the ground's green up there, Mr. Beaver Farmer. So we've got 4 jobs knocking about that we could ideally have filled. Ooh, and we can start planting some crops over here. I suppose let's just mirror the other side. Do 2 bits of radishes, which we have here, and then the rest of it's just going to be beets. Or maybe we do 4 layers of beets and then something plenty drought resistant at the back here. Tomatoes, 3.7 day drought resistance, get plopped into the back. And don't worry, I have a plan to ensure this all stays nice and green throughout even the longest drought. Well, I suppose now, let's have ourselves a little feed to when this is built. Well, that's that in. Look at that, we even got our first grafter gone now. Well, not technically grafter, and I do want to keep this down to maybe like 2 beaver builders in here. High priority numbers, get them prioritised by haulers. They're going to need some extract and all. Do I have plenty of that? Do we need to get the centrifuge back up and running? We may have to, however, I'm going to go ahead and wait until after this drought kicks in because I want all the haulers getting the water. Ooh, well, you know what? Doesn't really matter, does it? We're like actually full on water there. Let's just unpause it. And I'll pause one of these hauling posts. And I spy another little spot for a detailer with a little circle pattern on there. Oh, and look at this. The tomatoes are grown already. They're not messing about like. We can probably start unpausing that bloody press again, can't we? Well, look at that. 150 odd tomatoes. Get you unpaused, pal. It doesn't look like the priority thing worked all that well. Oh, no. I take it back. It worked perfectly. It's just the fact we're full on bloody storage. That's why there's still things on the deck. We'll probably be able to see that actually if we go underground. These little piles down here had metal and everything in them. Yep, just planks. Oh, well, in that case, I think it's about time to maximum prioritise the rest of this house here. And I'm going to see about... I made it! Hopping on top of this beaver here. I wasn't expecting to make it so quick. And noticing while I was on top of that beaver there that we need to put 3 beavers in here because old mate is officially overwhelmed up here. I've got any radish storage! Reet! One of ye boxes is about to become radish storage. Oh, was already assigned to be radish storage. Maximum priority, both of ye's. Right, so as I was saying, let me get on top of the beaver statue here. Get a canny little view of not only the roof going up there, but... Nah, I can't see the warehouse is getting built and the roof. So we're just going to have to settle for the roof getting built in a speedy up manner. And that's it. The roof's in! Get on it, MiGly! Look at the time, it's bloody 3:15. Although the beavers deal with minutes because it does only look to be a one-handed clock there. But regardless of those questions and getting answered, we need the beaver bust up and running. And also the extra couple of beavers that these little lodges bring in, I'm going to be very happy about. I'm even going to unpause this lodge here. But yeah, now we just desperately need more beaver workers. And I think we've made a decent little bit of progress towards making them self-sufficient here with all of their food, especially up here. Especially now that this closes all by itself and will keep the pressure that's inside once I go down a few more blocks. Inside here. Whoa, why is there no pressure on there? Oh, because it was a bit of a camera glitch. One more block down. All of that pressure there. And you know what? Actually, this would be a canny test to see how long this land stays irrigated in probably a 30-day drought. I mean, we have had 8 days worth of temperate season, so can't you complain there. But we have only had 8 days, unlike the canal here, which has had how many cycles, you know? Ooh, we're starting to get these bloody replanted. Right, let's remember. No cutty the maples. They're to be tapped. Whoa, pal. What are you doing whipping your hammer out? If you get rid of this log, I'm going to be foaming, by the way, look. There's 4 logs there. You better get them on your back, pal. I swear, dude, get them on your back, or I'm going to be revoking your EM tail. And I'm not yoking. Well, aren't you the luckiest beaver alive? If I could click you, I would do the old press delete on you, mate. I'm not lucky. But instead of being a heartless dev, why didn't we press S and appreciate our big beaver statue there? Quick, have a look. And it's a bust, not a statue. You know what, the next 0.1 days, I'm going to challenge myself to redesign this little front area here. 23 days, and I didn't do much of a redesign within that time limit I give myself. But I think a little bit of shrubbery on the side and a lantern in the middle will do lovely over here. So that, beavers, is a regular old high priority job. And then for the next 22.9 days, I only want you to do one thing, well, other than survive. And that is getting all 10 of these large water tanks in. And I know I'm a terrible tease, but ye peeps are going to have to wait until the next episode to see how quickly and utterly ridiculously magically these all fill up. And also to see if we get it done within this drought or not. Because as soon as the last water tank gets plopped in, the episode ends. There's nothing I can do about that. Editor MiGly has full control over that, and I've got a little post-it note. I'm just following instructions. Definitely shoot the messenger, MiGly. But yeah, no, seriously, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Fireside. I think we're in a really strong position to get unpausing the rest of the Who's in Estate and finally getting our big beaver population back up and running. And in fact, it will be the first time we have a fully realised Who's in Estate, won't it? Ooh, be keen and I am. But between now and the next episode of Timberborn, you've got a Split City episode and a Planet Crafter episode to watch. Bloody heaps going on. But regardless if you like those series or not, I hope you have yourself a lovely week, and I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo!